we are discussing the taxability of what? Other forms of allowances. Now, certain allowances, they are fully taxable. They are fully taxable. Whatever amount is received, the same is fully taxable. And they are what? Number one is the DNS allowance. As we have discussed, DNS allowance is fully taxable. Similarly, if any city compensatory allowance is received, the same is also fully taxable. If any medical allowance is received, it is what? Fully taxable. Then tiffin allowance, the same is fully taxable. Servant allowance is fully taxable. Project allowance, it is fully taxable. Interim allowance, non-practicing allowances, family allowance, overtime allowance, warden allowance, and transport allowance basically to employees other than those of blind, deaf, dumb, or orthopedically handicapped employee, and any other cash allowances. So there's a list of the allowances which are what? Fully taxable. So if you receive any DNS allowance, or if you receive any say city compensatory allowance, or if you receive any fixed medical allowance, tiffin allowance, servant allowance, project allowance, overtime allowance, interim allowance, non-practicing allowance, warden allowance, or transport allowance for commuting between office and residence, and any other allowances, cash allowances, the same is what? Fully taxable. Then certain allowances are exempt from tax. Here, certain allowances, they are exempt from tax to the extent they are expended for the purpose which they are given. Number two is allowances which are exempt from tax to the extent expended for the purpose which they are given. These allowances are exempt to the extent they have been expended for the purpose which they are given. We have incurred the expenditure for the purpose which they are given, that will be exempt. To that extent, exemption will be provided. So here it is traveling allowance, daily allowance, then uniform allowance, then conveyance allowance, helper allowance, and the research allowance. This is research allowance. So here what they are saying is the same are exempt to the extent the amount is expended for the purpose which they are given. Say traveling allowance, conveyance allowance, uniform allowance, daily allowance, research allowance, and helper allowance. So if you are traveling from one city to another city for official purposes, and if the employer has given you allowance of 5,000 rupees and you have expended 4,800 rupees for the purpose which they are given, then 200 rupees will be taxable, and the entire then the remaining 4,800 rupees which have been expended for the official purposes, the same will be what? The same will be here. It will be what? It will be taxable. 4,800 is exempt and 200 rupees will be taxable. Conveyance allowance is given for what purpose? Say if you are commuting in the city for official purpose, within the city, if you are commuting for official purpose, then conveyance allowance is given. Then uniform allowance for the purpose of purchase and maintenance of uniform. For that purpose, uniform allowance is given. Why research allowance is given? Research allowance is given in academic research institutions. Research allowance is given. And helper allowance is given for the official helper. We can employ any official helper. We will assist in official duties. For that purpose, helper allowance is given. So basically, these allowances are exempt to the extent they are expended for the purpose which they are given. So that is what. First is traveling allowance. Allowances. These allowances are what? Exempt from tax. Allowances exempt from tax to the extent expended for the purpose which they are given. One is the traveling allowance. It is granted to meet the cost of incurred by the employee on traveling, tour or transfer. The same is granted to meet what? The cost which is incurred by the employee on traveling, tour or transfer. That is what? Traveling allowance. Conveyance allowance. This is granted to meet the expenditure which is incurred by the employee on conveyance in performance of the official duties, provided he has not been provided any car facility, provided free conveyance is not provided to him. Then uniform allowance, the same is granted to meet the expenditure which has been incurred on purchase and maintenance of uniform. The same has been granted to, this has been granted to the employee on purchase and maintenance of the uniform. Then daily allowance, it is granted to meet what? Ordinary daily charges incurred on tour or for period of journey in connection with transfer on account of absence from the normal place of duty. Since we are traveling in another city, then who will be looking our food and other, we will be residing in a hotel. For that purpose, they will be giving you daily allowance. Besides this, research allowance is given to those institutions which are there in doing in academics, research and other training pursuits. And helper allowance is granted to reimburse the amount spent on a helper, provided such helper is used for official duties. So for that purpose, these allowances have been there. And they are exempt to the extent they are expended for the purpose which they are given. Next, the allowances which are exempt from tax to the extent of the amount which has been notified in the rules made in this regard. Allowances which are exempt from tax to the extent which have been notified in the rules made in this regard, that to that extent amount, the exempt amount to that extent is what? Exempt from tax. So here one is what? Special compensatory allowance, or say special compensatory hilly area allowance, high altitude allowance, uncongenial climate allowance, snowbound area allowance, avalanche allowances. So depending upon the specified locations, either it is 800 rupees per month, or it is 7,000 per month, or 3,000 per month, the same is exempt. Similarly, there is border area allowance, remote area allowance, difficult area allowance, disturbed area allowance. So here it is 1,300 or 1,100 or 1,050 or 750 or 300 or 200 per month, the same is exempt. Now this is important. You have to remember this. This is transport allowance to the employees of transport system. It is transport allowance to the employees of transport system. So here the allowance is granted to an employee who is working in a transport system to meet his personal expenditure incurred in course of his official duty of running transport from one place to another, provided he is not in receipt of a daily allowance. So basically it is a transport allowance. The same is granted to the employee of a transport system to meet personal expenditure which is incurred in course of his official duty of running transport from one place to another, provided he is not in receipt of daily allowance. So how much will be exempt? It is 70% of such allowance or 10,000 rupees per month, whichever is say lower, is exempt. So if you have received allowance, transport allowance, is received by say a truck driver, and the amount of allowance is say 12,000 rupees per month. So we'll get the exemption 8,400 per month or 10,000 per month, whichever is less. So here 8,400 will be less. So on 12,000 rupees, 8,400 will be exempt, and remaining amount will be what? 3,600 rupees. The same will be what? Taxable. So it is 70% of allowance or 10,000 per month, whichever is say lower, the same will be exempt. Then there is a tribal area allowance, which are given in the states of MP, Tamil Nadu, UP, Karnataka, Tripura, Assam, West Bengal, Bihar and Odisha. It is 200 rupees per month. Then transport allowance, which has been given to the blind employee, blind or deaf and dumb employee, or orthopedically handicapped for commuting between what? Place of residence and place of duty. For that purpose, transport allowance is given. So it will be exempt to the extent of 3,200 rupees per month. The same will be exempt. Transport allowance to these blind, deaf and dumb. This is a repetition. This is again a repetition. This point is repeated. Then it is underground allowance. Underground allowance basically is granted to employees who are working in unnatural climate in underground mines. It is 800 rupees per month will be exempt. Then children education allowance. It is 100 rupees per month per child. For maximum of 2 children, the same will be exempt. Children education allowance, 100 rupees per month per child for maximum of 2 children. Now in case if you are getting allowance 80 rupees per month per child, for 3 children you are getting, so we get an exemption, say 80 into 12 into 3, that is this much amount, less exempt. It will not be 100 because your allowance is only 80. So 80 into 12 into 2, that will be exempt. And one child, that is 80 into 12, that is 960 rupees. The same will be what? Fully taxable. Then we have hostel expenditure allowance. So hostel expenditure allowance is 300 rupees per child for maximum 2 children. So this is important. This is asked in examination. Hostel expenditure allowance is also asked in examination. This is also important. Then rest, this city compensatory, say compensatory field area, compulsory modified area, any allowances for counter-insurgency, they are not so much important. Then certain allowances are wholly exempt, as we have discussed. Allowances which are given to Indian citizen, government employee, and he is rendering services outside India. Then allowances to the High Court judges, sumptuary allowances to judges of High Court and Supreme Court, and allowances to the employees of UNO. So these allowances, they are what? Wholly exempt. These are wholly exempt allowances. So one question we will be discussing about these allowances, that is what? Examine with the brief reasons whether the following is chargeable to income tax and the amount liable to tax with reference to the provisions of the Income Tax Act. Now here, allowance received by an employee, Mr. Ram, working in a transport system. He is working in a transport system and he is receiving 12,000 rupees per month as an allowance to meet his personal expenditure while on duty. He is not in receipt of daily allowance. So in case of an employee working in transport system and he is in receipt of transport allowance, then same will be exempt how much? That is 70% of such allowance or rupees 10,000 per month, whichever is less, 70% of such allowance or 10,000 per month, whichever is less, provided he is not in receipt of daily allowance. Provided he is not in receipt of daily allowance. So here amount exempt is equal to $12,000 into 70%, 8,400. Taxable amount is equal to $8,400 or 10,000, which is less. Taxable amount is 12,000 minus 8,400, that is 3,600 into 12. It will be how much? 3,600 into 12. 43,200 will be the taxable portion. 43,200, the same will be the taxable portion in respect of the transport allowance. So we have discussed about the taxability of the allowances. Further, when we will be discussing the comprehensive questions, we will be discussing further these aspects, and every time whenever computation of total income question comes or income from salary question comes, then these allowances are asked in the examination.